Hi, welcome to PhET Simulation Integration. My name is Sarah English. Today we're going to be talking about selecting a simulation, accessing teacher resources, and teacher tips. If you have watched previous videos, you know that the simulations are over on the left-hand side, and we have physics, and we have biology, and chemistry, earth science, and math. So when we open one of these simulation categories, like in physics, we see that there are all these subcategories. Specifically right now, I'm looking at the sound and wave category. So these are the simulations that I can choose from, and then once I select one of them, I can look at the teacher resources. So here is the resource page for waves on a string. Now there's a couple of things that you should note here. Again, we can either play it or download it. We can embed it. We'll talk about embedding later. This is an HTML5 video simulation, so we can use it on iPads or Chromebooks or other tablet devices. And then we look below the simulation, and if we clicked on any of these, which we will do in a second, we can find out more about the video. We can look at the teacher resources, which we are going to look at in a moment, related simulation, software requirement, and of course, credits. The important thing to remember here is that you must create an account in order to access any of the resources. That is key. Once we do click on that teacher resources icon for that selected simulation, we can see all these teacher submitted activities, which is awesome. So they give us the title of all the different activities. The star tells you whether they've been approved by PhET. If it has the PhET symbol, like we see right here, that means that it was created by someone at PhET. The level we see for high school, undergraduate, like an undergraduate intro course. And we might see a middle school like we do down here. This column indicates what grade level is appropriate for that simulation. Then we go on to type. Now CQ is clicker questions. It also shows that maybe the simulation could be used as a demo in class or it could be used as a lab activity. Sometimes you'll also see homework. So the simulation that was developed here on the bottom, Sound and Wave Basics, was used primarily as a homework. And then finally, they'll give you the information of when the activity was created. So I have clicked on Sound and Wave Basics, which is a homework assignment. And I can see here that this teacher submitted assignment was submitted as a PDF, and they've given me the homework. So they'll give us the title, the description, the subject, the appropriate level, the type, the duration that it should take, that it's in English, keywords that are associated with it, and then finally they'll give you information about that educator that created it. And I have contacted people in the past about what they've created just for clarification, and typically people have been really great about responding. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to selecting a simulation and accessing the teacher resources in action. So let's go over to the PhET Simulation website. So here we are on the PhET Simulation website, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to Play with Simulations, and today I'm feeling like looking at math simulations. I have a whole range of math simulations to choose from, so I'm going to choose Fraction Matcher. Here's my information about Fraction Matcher. Before I go on, I must sign in to the PhET website. So I'm going to click Sign In, and now I am able to access the teacher resources. So I'm going to go over to the teacher resources, which is right here. And now I see a bunch of interesting things. The first thing I'm looking at is the teacher tips, which is right here. So it states overview of sim controls, model simplification, and insights to student thinking. Very, very important. This is a great resource that you can read over before you start playing around with the simulation. Can give you a lot of insight of what it's able to do, a lot of background. Highly encourage you to look at the teacher tips. In this case, there's even a video primer. So we could watch this and learn about how the simulation works and examples and such. Always encourage people to watch the video primer prior to playing with the simulation so you really know all the capabilities. Then we go down to teacher submitted activities. And there's a lot of different activities that are associated with this particular simulation. Like I said before, we have the title, whether or not it's been vetted by the PhET organization, whether it was developed by a PhET person, the author, the level, and the type. What I'm interested in is the Fraction Matcher game. it is for high school, K through 5, or middle school. It can be used as either a lab or homework. So I want to see what we have with this. So I want to see the resources that are associated with this game. This simulation has a lot of resources. It's got an Excel file for tracking progress. It's got a lesson plan, student directions as Word documents, which means you can modify them as needed. They also have them as PDFs. You can download them all at once, or you can download them individually. As stated before, they're going to give you the title, a little background on the simulation, and then some other information that could be helpful for you to know before you use it in class. Let's look at the lesson plan that's associated with this activity. So here is the lesson plan. It gives the learning goals, the background and introduction, the overall lesson and how this teacher would use it, and then post-lesson suggestions. So the key thing to remember here is that if you log in and you select a simulation, there is a ton of resources that are available to you on how to use that simulation. Again, I would really encourage you to check out the teacher tips, the video primer prior to playing with the simulation, and then explore the different activities that are available. These are activities that teachers have shared on the website that you are able to use.